Does anybody think about how these kids are gonna be fucked? Seriously, everybody's addicted to their phones, and these kids are being having iPads shoved in their face from the time they're 2 years old. They're being shown things that are enough to traumatize or mentally fatigue a normal adult. And these kids are just able to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and get this constant feed of dopamine from essentially the time they're almost born. So it's one of those things that I'm like, because I started kind of late. I guess probably like I was introduced to the computer at probably like 7. I didn't have a phone, like a smartphone. I got an iPod when I was like 11. I got a smartphone probably when I was like 14. And this is before like TikTok or like short form content was introduced. And only till recently did I really pretty much break free from this cycle of just doom scrolling. And I tried to do it like very consciously, but even when you do it consciously, it's a real addiction, you know? Like there's this pull towards it that it's just something that you can do and it sucks you in and you could just find shit that interests you in such a short form that your attention span is pretty much nothing. And everybody does it. So nobody sees anything wrong with it. So people just do it. You know? It's what everybody does. It's what every fucking buddy does. Everybody is scrolling constantly. And they just consume, 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 consume until the point that you get actually addicted to it. And when you try to put the phone down, nothing else seems as good. You you try to have a conversation with someone, it's like they're not really interested in going in depth. They're everything's just so surface level that it just feels shallow and empty. You know, why would you go outside and go on a walk when you can just get this constant feed of dopamine right in your room? And this is taking out porn, bro. This is no porn. Add in porn and it's just on another level. But when you just the shorts, when you have all your favorite hobbies and interests, and you got big booty bitches twerking and big titty bitches shaking their titties or just thirst trapping, it does something to your brain that you don't realize. Because the screen, your mind has a hard time distinguishing it from real life. So your brain almost thinks that you're like doing these things or you're with this hilarious person, one of the funniest people in the fucking world. Your brain just thinks it's right there. But it's not. It's not real life. It's borderline a simulation. And people just don't realize it. They slowly, slowly, slowly built it up and built it up and built it up until the point that you didn't even realize it was happening. Like, at this point, it might have been a psyop from the fucking very start. Who knows? They might have been thinking about shorts in fucking 2000 fucking 8 once they realized, like, just what the internet was. Like, maybe they fucking planned it, bro. Because that's pretty much all it is. It boils down to money, really. Um, and they want to keep these people trapped in this perpetual cycle of doom scrolling. And it's just so easy. Like, you don't even need to do anything to get hooked on anything except be given a device. And everybody has a fucking device. You go to fucking India and, like, homeless people have phones, or just like the random people on the streets. Like, everybody has one. You can go to the fucking Walmart and get a $30 smartphone and be scrolling on TikTok, and that's all you need to start an addiction. And these kids are just being introduced to it at such a young age that you gotta wonder how these kids are gonna be in 10, 15 years. If they're getting hooked on that strong of an addiction, because it is a strong addiction, bro. And, like, how is that going to affect their brains? It scares me because it's like, that's just the start. You know, weed is normalized. You got to I live in New Jersey, and you got a dispensary on every corner. And people don't see anything wrong with that either. Like, if you got to smoke weed for, like, mental health stuff, whatever, um I get it. I smoked for the longest time. I'm not against it. But it's normalized to just be hitting the Benjamin all day. And anything that you introduce to the brain at a young age, it's going to affect how your brain develops, no matter what. And you're seeing things that, I don't know, I just saw something on my hand. But you're seeing things that could traumatize an adult. You're seeing things that can change your whole perspective as a child. And all it takes is a scroll. You're a kid and you accidentally scroll into a thirst trap. You're like, what's this? And you see on TikTok, like, it'll be like something that's not even related to, like, pornography. And you'll see people saying in the comments, like, don't search up blah blah blah. And it's just like straight porn. And these kids are being introduced to it, like, almost unwillingly. And they're learning about the most interesting shit, or their most interesting topic at the time, in the most, you don't have to think. You can just look and consume. So, like, I'm really genuinely, like, curious and worried what these kids are gonna be like. I was talking to someone and they were like, they have a little brother. He's in, like, he was 9, I think. And, like, they can't even pull out one of those, like, if you're watching this, you probably had it. They push out the TV, and, like, all the kids are, like, hyped as fuck to get the fucking, like, to finally watch a movie. But, like, these kids don't even want to watch movies, bro. They would, their fucking receptors are so fucked that a movie doesn't even interest them. That was the most hype shit when we were kids. Always. That was the best day of the fucking year. And you looked forward to it. But these kids are so fucked up that they can't even look forward to a movie, bro. They're like, I would rather just scroll on my phone and watch my favorite interests about whatever video game or fucking thing that you do. And it's just something I think about often. Because it was very hard for me to quit social media. Not social media. Social media was easy. I stopped giving a fuck about, like, friends from school, or not friends from school. I still talk to some friends from school, but people from school, like, a while ago, like pretty much almost immediately after I graduated. But the scrolling on your feed thing, bro, that shit, it's hard to quit. And if you're being introduced to it as such a fucking pivotal time in your development, you just gotta wonder how these kids are gonna turn up, or like what's it gonna do, bro? Are they gonna get addicted to drugs? Are they just gonna become so fucked that they don't even realize like what's really happening? They're just gonna be so hooked on this constant source that they're easier to just herd. I don't know, man. Maybe there will be a revolution and they will realize what is going on and stop. You never know.